welcome to this week's video of mine. This is Mae Renfroe, and yeah, I'm excited about doing this week's video. And this one is gonna kind of be just like a vlog video, just of several things, not exactly one topic, but just a few things that's been on my mind and a few things I want to share and show you. Some books. So some books that I'm reading right now that I just read or in the process of reading that I've really been enjoying. That's really been impacting me and kind of teaching me some really great things. And it's and then some books of my own that I want to share and talk about a bit. And so, all right, I'll get into this video. All right, I think I'll start with some books of mine that I want to show. Here, I haven't talked about the books that I've written for quite some time, and with it coming up Mother's Day soon, I would like to show my little booklet called More Than a Mother. So here I have in all, I believe it's 15 copies that I just bought to be able to have on hand for someone in my area that they can buy from me or I can give to someone. So I just, got a bunch of these here. And you can find them on Amazon or other places like that. Or you can go to find these. I'm not sure the price there and there. And okay, so it's more Than a Mother on the back. So it's encouragement, full of quotes and stuff to encourage mothers just in their role as a mother and instructing her children in the Lord. So just really good, powerful quotes in here. So many. On the back, this says, this little booklet is full of inspirational sayings and quotes to encourage you in your tough but very rewarding job of mothering the little ones and the big ones that God has so lovingly blessed you with. I see mothers is being very blessed, and that children are blessings. They truly are. A lot of work, a lot of hard work, and I mentioned that in the front. But it's just one of the most rewarding jobs we can ever have, and we do need encouragement as a mother. I know I have 9 children ranging in ages from 20 to 2, and it is a tough job, but it's very worth it, very rewarding, and in the long run. So yeah, these you want I would say grab you one of these little books, go over to Amazon or other places, or you can order books to find this little booklet. And for other mothers in your life or for yourself, I think you will really, really enjoy this. Full of so many little quotes. And my next one I want to show you that I have it's called Beautiful Psalms. Beautiful Psalms is just full of the verses in Psalms laid out in some really beautiful pictures that put together. Myself of different ones of us have took these pictures, and I've got it categorized and certain categories. I'll read on the back on this. This is an amazing collection of handpicked verses from the book of Psalms, categorized in various topics. Beautiful Psalms will be sure to inspire, uplift, and encourage you no matter what situation you are in or what comes your way in life. Beautifully laid out and designed with great photography as well as color-coded sections. It contains topics such as God's help, God's mercy, God's protection, and many more. Discover God's greatness and power and feel the wondrous love, care, and compassion that He has for you. On the back, a photo of mine. And I'm also going to read one of my very favorite verses that I have here on the back. It says, how precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. And that's Psalms 139, verses 18 to 19. So, yeah, again, it's laid out in different categories. This one says God's help in time of need and trouble. So all the verses that concern that under that topic. And where's another? This one said God's loving kindness and tender mercies. So all the verses that kind of go into that one. This one says trusting God. This one says praise, worship, and honor. So all the verses in there that talk about praising God and honoring God and worshiping Him. Now, of course, it's not, all the verses that are in Psalms. Psalms is a very big book with lots and lots of verses in the Bible. So what I did was just come up with some categories of verses that I've seen here that talk about God's mercy, talking about God's protection, God's blessing, trusting God, God's help, and so on. And so I started the first chapter in Psalms and literally went through, I had them out in categories, and I would come across a verse and I would write that verse down under that category, God's help, and then under God's protection. It was quite a time-consuming task, but I went from verse to verse, chapter to chapter, and went through Psalms and did that. And then we would look up these verses on a Bible app and copy and paste them to the pages to put them in order. So it was a very time-consuming, a big job, and I had my oldest son helping me in that, and it was so good. Without him, I could not have done this book, but it is very beautiful. So I encourage you, if you like Psalms, for sure you would enjoy this. And if you just want to have a handy book that has verses of God's protection and comfort and everything right there, it's right here. This one book has it all. I also not all the verses in Psalms again, yes, but just to make that clear, but just all that I feel like you're gonna really want is definitely in here. I have then all of chapter Psalms 91, amazing chapter of God's protection. In here is to just the whole chapter is actually laid out on a couple of pages in here. So a gift for yourself, a gift for somebody. It's just something comforting, maybe somebody that's gone through something tough in life. They're overcoming, things. Maybe they're just new to God. I would say this would be a perfect gift for them. If you have someone like that in your life, or somebody that's gone through a loss, or in a variety of things, they're going to enjoy the comfort in here. It will be good. So again, the 2 books of mine. I'll give the link to my website too. You can check out. I've got them over there. But to buy them, just on the Global Network is the place you can buy these books. And speaking of Psalms 91 and that amazing chapter of God's protection, I actually have a book right here written by someone else, not my own book. It's written by Peggy Joyce Ruth. And it is on Psalms 91, and I love it. So it's a book that I've just read myself. My mom read it first and recommended it to me. It has the Psalms 91 broke down verse by verse for a chapter, 1 verse per chapter. And in fact, there's a couple of verses that she has, maybe 2 or 3 chapters actually in 1 verse. So it's a longer verse that has kind of different things in it. And so she's broke that into 2 or 3 chapters. And it's just amazing how she's broke it down, and you can get so much out of Psalms 91 because you can read Psalms 91 and you agree, wow, that's a beautiful chapter. Wow, God's protection in there. Wow, I just love these verses. These are great to memorize and to kind of stand on. You can feel that, but in this book, you can even get more out of it. She details and explains certain words and the meanings of words, and I'm just like, wow, all that's in there. Like for instance, that verse about mentions the word salvation. She explains what that means. I think I'm gonna just pause. I'm gonna find that verse and read it. Okay, I'm going to read the last 2 verses in Psalms 91, and then I will read that piece in the book. So grab my Bible. So Psalms 91, verses 15 and 16. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful that God is saying that he'll be with us in trouble. And with long life, I'll satisfy him and show him my salvation. And here she says, in this book right here, she says, according to Strong's Concordance, the word salvation includes health, healing, rescue, deliverance, safety, protection, and provision. Wow. So that is the things that God has promised us. And he will show us his protection, his mercy, his safety, and deliverance and provision. Just really amazing. But we have to believe. It's kind of like in the last video, I said that if we want to see things happen, we want to see God's miracles and God's promises that he gave us, we have to believe. It is only available to those who believe in him. And if we, that saying I had mentioned in my last video, that we'll believe something when we see it. When it comes to the miracles and the promises of God, we have to believe them in order to be able to see them. You have to believe and stand on these verses. And the verses in Psalms 91 and throughout God's word, the Bible, that we have to stand on those, claim those, and believe them, knowing that, yes, God can do that for us. And stand on that, and really to see that to play out. We have to trust God and take him at his word, and he's just waiting, for us to believe him. And that's when he comes through with his promises and his deliverance and his provision and his protection. Okay, speaking about books that I've showed my own, and then I showed Psalms 91, and here is another book that I'm reading again. It's Crazy Love by Francis Chan. So I've read this book myself about a year ago. It could be less than a year now, but I absolutely loved it. At the same time, I read the book called Radical by David Platt, and I read the one, I don't know which one I read first, and I read this other one just back to back, and they were so good and so almost some similar things. I was like, wow, did these two people know each other, and did they kind of collaborate on this? And I guess they do know each other. I found out since, and they're, I guess you could say, friends, but they just both have those beliefs, the stand, and the things they shared was neat. So Crazy Love, I just love that he's just, it's talking about truly loving God, and just in realizing how much that he loves us, and what a great God and magnificent God he is, the God of the universe that created everything, the stars and the moon, and put everything in place and created us perfectly and wonderfully, and that God, he loves us, and he has a plan and a purpose for each one of us, for us, and to realize the love for God and to love him back with a wholehearted, true, devoted love. And that's what he just talks about all through here. He talks about being aware of being lukewarm and what that looks like, and how that is not honoring God, a lukewarmness, or just by our lips saying that we love God, or say that we have to honor God, but if it's not in our actions and our lived out in our lives, then it's nothing. Then it's really nothing. And that we're, like he's even said, one that's called leftovers, we're throwing our leftovers at God. So just I would totally recommend this book. And, I'm just encourage us to truly to love God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our mind, and to really check, what does that mean? Because that is loaded, that is powerful, to love God just with everything of our fiber. So he is to be our focus. He's the one that we're going after, and not the things of this world. And we can get so caught up on the things of this world, and just really God is an afterthought on the side, and we can just say, oh, we love God, but everything else is really shouting something else. It is saying something else. And I was on my notes here. It says, I've got honoring God out of love and not out of a list of rules. When we truly love God, we're not going to really feel all those rules and like the 10 Commandments, or feel like it's rules, but that we're doing it out of love. Because when you love somebody, you do all that you can to please and honor them. You totally are willing to lay down your life, and not that it's no longer us, but the God that lives in us, and so that we don't want to please ourselves, not our will. We want God's will in our life. And that's what God is looking for, devoted, wholehearted, committed followers. And too often, it seems like Christians are not Christ-like. We, as a Christian, that is what a characteristic of a Christian is, to be Christ-like. And followers are to follow. Believers are to believe. And worshipers are to worship. And so often, I've heard the term of unbelieving believers. If that even can be... That doesn't even make sense. It shouldn't be. But how can we be, we're supposed to be followers, yet we're not following. We're supposed to be believers, yet we don't believe. We're supposed to be Christians, yet we're not Christ-like. There's something wrong. There's something wrong that we apparently don't love him with all our heart, soul, and mind. So I'm not here to judge, point fingers, but to encourage us to truly check out our hearts, and check out whether we're all in. Because if we're we can't be fooling ourselves any longer, that if we're not all in and all out, then we're not in it all. And He doesn't want the lukewarmness. He wants us to be committed and devoted and to him, and then he's got such blessings and greatness for us here on earth, but of course the eternal reward in heaven. So but we gotta want God here on earth, not just heaven later. You gotta want God, or we're not even gonna have the hope of heaven later. So yeah, well, I hope that has been encouraging, very eye-opening, whatever, challenging to you, and that's why I do these videos. And I just love, think God gives me things in my heart and mind, and I just love to share it with others. So again, I hope this video has been encouraging to you, and I hope you come back for more on my YouTube channel. I try to do them weekly. I have stuff over my blog. I post these videos there on my blog too, and I have a lot of resources and different things, and I'm also available to speak. So if you're in my area, then please contact me for my availability and the topics that I speak on. So all right, you take care. Look forward to having you come back to see another video of mine, and God bless.